a Monday night with all of our friends and Seminole family here live from Bowdens in College Town. It is another edition of Inside Seminole Football with the head coach Mike Norvell. My name is Jeff Culhane, and as always, we appreciate everybody that's made their way out here tonight, spending their Monday evening here with us as we talk all things Florida State football as the Noles getting ready for another big ACC opponent. Clemson coming to town on Saturday night. That is a 7 p.m. Eastern kick at Doak Campbell Stadium, Bobby Bowden Field. And with that, we bring in, big round of applause, everybody, the head coach of the Noles, Mike Norvell, here with us on a Monday night. Coach, it is great to see you guys back to work and getting after it. We got back home. You can't even call it late. It was early Sunday morning and no rest. I know you guys got back in the office and back on the practice field last night in preparation for another quality opponent here coming up this week.
Yeah, coming off the trip to Dallas, extremely disappointed in the result, and for our team, there was a lot that was thrown into last week. I felt good about how they handled the adversity and the traveling early and just some of the different dynamics that surrounded the game, and obviously all things with the storm, which just to start off, just definitely still thinking and praying for everybody that lives were impacted, families have lost loved ones, and definitely still praying for everybody that's been affected throughout the United States with the storm that came through. But I thought our guys it handled that well, but unfortunately in the course of the game just too many mistakes, too many missed opportunities. I didn't really like the way that we responded to some of those challenges, and especially there in the second half, had some unfortunate things that happened, and we've got to be better in that moment. And I've seen this team respond. I know the guys that that make up this group, and when times like that show up, we've got to have the leadership. We've got to have guys step up and go and be the difference, and making sure that we finish the way that we're capable of. And that was most disappointing thing to me, and obviously resulted in a bad outcome.
Yeah. Coach, and I know one of the things that you've talked about and is how your guys have shown you what they're capable of each and every day in practice, and then just for whatever reason that carryover application hasn't been what you wanted it to be for a full 60 minutes in certain situations out there on the game surface in live action. And again, last night, you mentioned it during your press conference today, your guys came back and had the focus you're looking for, getting ready for another big game.
Well, everybody's disappointed. Everybody, we're all just sick for how the season started, and when we talk about the objectives and things that are critically important to winning football games, we're not doing those very well. And you look the other night, turning the ball over, not creating takeaways, at the level that we need to, third downs, once again the other night was not good enough on either side of the ball, and obviously contributes to having to play too many plays defensively, and not extending drives there offensively, and we just we continue to shoot ourselves in the foot with different mistakes, and whether it was penalties that were taking away big plays, or drop passes, or not locating the ball where it needed to be. We had a couple blown coverages, and you would stack all those different things up, and you end up with the result that we had. And those are things that I'd like to tell you that we're showing up throughout the course of practice, but really our guys have been working to improve in a lot of those areas, and and just it is frustrating that in the moment of truth, as I like to call it, where you got to go out there and you got to make the play, you got to trust the training. That's not translating like it needs to, and it's from showing up in guys that have done it before, and we've seen them on in past years and past games that have been able to answer the call, and we've got to make sure that we're doing a better job of that execution. And it starts with me. It starts with the coaching staff and helping put guys in the right and best positions. But then obviously the ownership of the players of when you find yourself in moments like this, as I said earlier, the real ones got to step up, and they've got to go and they've got to make the play. They got to be the difference. And that's where everybody wants to talk about leadership and what does that look like. Well, it's in those moments, the guys that can take over a game. When momentum's not going your way, when it takes one play to change momentum. momentum. And that's where, all of us are in this together of being able to push to make that happen. And, that's where, I've challenged the team, I've challenged our coaches, I've challenged myself to go be better in that situation because, it's sickening to be, right where we are. But, good Lord gave us today and gave us an opportunity to go get better, and that's what we're doing.
Yep. Coach, DJ Uiagalelei took a couple hits in that game on Saturday night, a little bit nicked up, a little banged up. I know today in your press conference you said that he had some things going on and looking to be evaluated throughout the week. There was a report earlier tonight talking about his condition, his situation, and what may happen with him moving forward, that quarterback spot. You have anything new at all for us right now about his injury status and what you're looking at for the rest of this week?
Yeah, we got a little bit more feedback here this afternoon just from where it was, and there's still going to be some more extensive testing to see what that's going to look like here in the long term. But it is looking like he'll be unavailable for this week and probably his next couple. But at the end of the day, I mean it's I appreciate all of how DJ's handled himself. The work that he's done. His maturity in it, and I mean as I said in the press conference today, it's it's easy to point to one position, and obviously as a head coach, a quarterback, I mean, guess what? We signed up for it, so it's you have to be able to understand the responsibility that we have, and we all have to continue to work and go and get better. But I do think that DJ has been great with his teammates, has been great with the guys there within this team, and being able to work and push and obviously we've got to make sure that we're supporting the quarterback position as much as possible around him, and but it is looking like he'll be unavailable this week, and obviously that provides opportunity for Brock, for Luke, and those guys to go and prepare, and I'm definitely excited for the work that they've been putting in here throughout the course of the season to when that door opens, it's time to go run through it.
Yep, and I suppose as you evaluate continually throughout the week, a guy like Brock Glenn, he's been in this situation before where he's been uncomfortable being been in a comfortable spot where, hey, I got to step up and I'm the next guy up overall. If that is the route you indeed decide to go at that quarterback position overall, that's an experience he had late in his freshman year a season ago.
Yeah, I mean, you end up starting the conference championship game. You had to go in, obviously late in the game. You're down in Gainesville, but he's been there, and even through last year, just the missed time that he had, and what he was able to do, just from the mental aspect to be able to go in and operate, and he's grown from that point, and and I've really enjoyed watching Luke from coming in the spring to see where he's at as well. I mean both those guys are going to prepare. Obviously with if DJ being out, that Brock will be the one that starts, and he came in the other day, and obviously we'll continue to evaluate what that's going to look like. If there is an opportunity with Luke as well, but I'm excited about what I've seen from those guys through the early part of this season as they prepared and are ready for opportunities that are ahead.
Yep, and time now for our truest hero of the game from our last matchup Saturday night versus SMU. We're going to give it to the youngster Landon Thomas, the young man out of Colquitt County. Talk about stepping up when your number's called. First career catch, first career touchdown right here as you're watching it on our stream, and pressed into action. Somebody looking to make a play in that second half, Coach, and man, number 18 ran a nice wheel route up the sideline, and DJ put the ball only where he could catch it for that moment he'll never forget.
Yeah, no, it's definitely one of those, you always remember your first catch and the fact that it was a touchdown, and Landon's been a guy that's played it, just sparingly early in the season, but he's still pushing for more opportunities, and even in the game, he played more as the game went on, and there were some great moments, just like the touchdown, and then obviously moments where he gets to see where he needs to improve, and just continuing to build to be a complete player. Amari Williams also got some time in the game as well, and I really like that young group of tight ends, and that's a position that has to continue to grow and step up, and I'm excited to see those guys what they do with the more opportunities that are in front of them.
Yep, first true freshman tight end with a touchdown catch in a game since Nick O'Leary in 2011 right there. Great company to be a part of for Landon Thomas. Hey, when you work with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable, so start feeling like it today. Visit Truist.com/care. Truist, leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Truist Bank, member FDIC. And our program also brought to you in part by ABC 27. Get free local news and weather 24/7. Just search WTXL on your favorite streaming device and to watch local news and weather on your time. And of course, you can rewatch this show. Watch it on Wednesday night, 7 p.m. here in Tallahassee on ABC 27. Just getting underway on Monday night, live from Bowdens in College Town. Back with more with the head coach Mike Norvell when we return. Stay tuned. And we are back Monday nights, back at Bowdens in College Town. Another edition of Inside Seminole Football with Mike Norvell. My name is Jeff Colhane, Florida State. Getting ready for another big one. Need you Saturday night, Noles fans, inside of Doak Campbell Stadium. Clemson coming to town as kick time set for just after 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We're on the air on the radio and audio side at 5 p.m. Eastern Time on your favorite listening device. Hey, time now for What's on Tap, brought to you by the official craft beer of Florida State Athletics, Oyster City Brewing Company. Check out the tap room on Main Street and make sure to grab Legacy Lager for any Seminole celebration. As we mentioned, Clemson Saturday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. Looking forward to that matchup. Always a great battle between the Noles and the Tigers. How about Florida State volleyball? They beat Miami twice this last week, sweeping them in Coral Gables yesterday. 6 straight wins over the Canes for that volleyball squad, doing great work and pretty impressive by Chris Poole and company. They're at Virginia Friday night at 7 p.m. Florida State women's soccer rolled Clemson 3-0 Saturday night here in Tallahassee. They're at Wake Forest Thursday night at 7 p.m. And ironically, both soccer and volleyball are in Blacksburg Sunday facing Virginia Tech, and both start times are at 1 p.m. in Blacksburg. So there you go. That's what's on tap with Florida State women's soccer and Florida State volleyball. Well, Coach, we're looking at some of the items on the offensive side of the football from Saturday night. Your guys answered and showed good response early after SMU scored on the first drive of the game. DJ and company took the ball right down the field. They play 75 yards and some excellent throws along the way. And one of them, as we take a look at the highlights here momentarily, DJ finding Ja'Kai Douglas for a big 50-yard gain. And, man, Coach, Ja'Kai just continues to step up when his number is called in that passing game in a big-time way.
No, absolutely. And, I'm really proud of him and just the work that he's done. He's really becoming, one of those consistent playmakers, for us, and continue to get more opportunities as we roll through this year. But it was a good start for us. We had when you get that explosive play there early, and then being able to capitalize with DJ to Kentron there for the touchdown there. That was a great start, and obviously was what we're looking to do. There on the road.
Yeah, Ja'Kai leading all Florida State wide receivers in receiving yards, 285 on the season with a touchdown, the big one against Cal, the game winner a couple of weekends ago. And that's the most receiving yards of the season. Ja'Kai's already done that in 5 games here in his senior year, so producing in a big-time way. And you mentioned Kentron Portier, his second touchdown grab of the season, and he was able to find himself, Coach, down in that red zone, score zone area. Made a nice move, one-on-one coverage, I believe, on the outside, and DJ put that thing right on the money for 7 points, and Kentron made him pay. Yeah,
and Kentron is continuing to work through, still battling, various things that, just dealing with some smaller injuries that he's kind of had to overcome. But you just see him, go out there and he's performing, at a high level and continuing to work extremely hard. And so it's definitely great seeing him be able to finish in the end zone.
Yep, Kentron's second touchdown catch of the season, the 6th of his career. Tying the ball game up at 7 apiece. And with some of the injuries you've had in the running game, you've really leaned. We talked about LT, and rightly so. Lawrence Toafili over the last couple of weeks has been your go-to guy. Man, he shows such great footwork, vision, and you utilize him in so many different ways. He's a tough guy to prepare for, I would imagine, for opposing defensive coordinators.
Yeah, LT, did a nice job not only running the football, but also being able to catch the ball out of the backfield. Had some nice plays in that regards. Cam kind of went down a little early in the game, and so you really put the a workman's load on LT, and you still was able to see Sam Singleton in there a little bit, and Keziah, but LT's he's a guy that's been around the program for a long time. He's a great playmaker for us, and we need him to continue to rise up as this season as it rolls on.
Saw a little bit of Brock Glenn at the end of that game over the last 12 minutes, the last 2 drives of that contest, Coach, and take me through how he has continued to improve and practice from even springtime, the strides that he has made for you and putting in that work and being ready to go one play away each day.
Yeah, just overall understanding of the offense, and the reads, the anticipation of what's ahead. I thought he did a nice job when he went in there. Had a nice ball that unfortunately we weren't able to
bring
in, but I thought you feel his confidence, you feel his just the urgency and how he operates, and we still had one missed opportunity down the field that we got to connect on, but like I said, it's I'm excited for Brock and all that he's done to put himself in a position, and really looking forward to seeing him go out there and to work this week.
Yep, absolutely. As we're continuing along here on Monday night, live from Bowdens in Collegetown, as Inside Seminole Football brought to you in part by Florida Farm Bureau Insurance, a proud partner of Florida State Athletics. We appreciate our friends at Florida Farm Bureau Insurance, and brought to you in part by the official vodka of Florida State Athletics, SV Vodka. Crafted for a smooth taste, SV Vodka is 100% vegan, perfect for those who value purity in every sip. Experience the unique blend of tradition and innovation with SV Vodka, the official vodka of Florida State Athletics. Just getting rolled along with the head coach, Mike Norvell. Got a great show tonight. Justin Juice Cryer will join us here at our main table a little bit later on, as will co-defensive coordinator and linebackers coach Randy Shannon on the program tonight. We'll talk a little defense with Coach as well when we come back. Stay with us. More to come here on Inside Seminole Football. We're back after this timeout. And if you're in town for a game this fall, stay at 4 Points by Sheraton Tallahassee downtown, where parking is always complimentary, plus free shuttle service to the airport and Doak Campbell Stadium. Make your hotel reservations at 4 Points by Sheraton Tallahassee downtown today. And welcome back live from Bowdens in Collegetown, Inside Seminole Football with the head coach Mike Norvell. Florida State preparing, getting ready for Clemson this upcoming Saturday. That's a 7 p.m. Eastern kick at Bobby Bowden Field inside of Doak Campbell Stadium. Coach, as you look at your defensive side, the football, and some of the items, this has been a defense that has been opportunistic in a lot of ways for your group. 28 TFLs, 13 sacks over the last 3 games, 3 takeaways. One of those, of course, that muff punt and special teams in the second half on Saturday night. But your defense finding its footing a little bit. I know maybe the consistency certainly not the way you want to have it over a full 60 minutes on Saturday night, but some moments of response throughout that game from your guys on that side.
Yeah, and coming out of the Cal game where we played our best game of the year, just was disappointed in just the overall execution and some of the third down situations. The opening drive, they were able to convert on three third down situations there where we have opportunities. Where I know we're better, and but ultimately it's being able to go out there and to perform at that consistent basis. Obviously I had a couple of explosive plays that we gave up due to really just in all honesty, just poor eyes and execution. Had a couple busted coverages, and when that happens, ultimately it just puts you in such a challenging position. I was really proud of some of the responses we saw. Being able to hold a couple of field goal attempts. Where Shaim was able to block a field goal there, which was a big play. But they also got put in some tough situations. Obviously the turnover that happened. There to start the second half. They're inside the 20-yard line,
right.
And week prior, you saw that just being able to hold them out of the end zone, and obviously we weren't able to do that there on Saturday night, and but I believe in these guys. I believe in how they'll respond, and I know they're excited for opportunity to go out there and get back on the field.
Yep, Coach Azaria Thomas has really been a mainstay throughout his 3 years, and even though he didn't start his first two. He was essentially a starter a season ago at that cornerback spot for you. He and Fentrell Cypress have held down those two cornerback spots. He's been able to work in some of the younger guys as well, certainly during the last couple of games. But Azarie, I know you're really proud of him and the things that he has done. What's been the most impressive thing for you about his approach and the work he puts in and shows you on the field in game time?
Yeah, I mean, he's a tremendous worker. He's a great young man. I mean, he's got tremendous passion for the game, for his teammates. And he's performed at a high level. He's done a great job in coverage. Haven't had just a ton of opportunities of people throwing at him because of the position he's put himself in. But you definitely a guy that is rising to the occasion. Him and Fentrell played a lot of football, but then you also see some of those young corners that are coming about. I think Quinn's done a nice job, with when he's been able to go out there, and you're definitely excited about what that looks like here in the future as well.
Yep, and KJ Kirkland just continues. It feels like to stack up solid outings for you with some of the numbers he puts up. Tied for a game-high 6 tackles with Azarie in the game on Saturday. What steps, what has he shown you as he was put into a role as a starter? And he's been essentially kind of that guy next to Shyheim in a lot of spots in that defensive secondary for you the last few weeks.
Yeah, he's taken advantage of the opportunity on the field, and it was made some really nice plays. Had a few that obviously he'd like to have back and could continue to grow from. But he's a young guy that's got a bright future in front of him, and I think that's when you have quality guys that can go in and obviously provide a spark, provide playmaking, obviously opportunities, it's going to help everybody involved. And so I'm really proud of KJ for what he's done. And, like I said, just excited to watch him grow.
Yep, and you talked about the block kick, Shyheim. I don't know if I've seen a guy that has a knack for doing this. He was also someone in high school that blocked 6 kicks at Columbia High in Lake City, coach. So this is someone that knows how to get to the football and puts himself, you guys put him in great spots to make plays. 3 block kicks this season is something that only a few other guys in college football have done.
Yeah, Shy, he definitely has a knack for it, and it starts with effort. And, I thought he gave, tremendous effort and being able to go. And, and obviously that was a big play, at that time. And, the week prior, also was able to disrupt a kick, there, against Cal. So you definitely, something that he puts a lot of time and effort into, but, also the guys around him, continuing to help with that push to be able to make those plays.
And Alex Mastromano leads the country, 49.8 yards per punt right now. 12 punts of 50 yards or more, only 1 touchback, 8 punts inside the 20-yard line. I mean, that's a guy that's a real weapon when you need to flip the field, and he's shown that. You didn't think he could get even better from a year ago, and he has. He's been so impressive this season.
Yeah, I was proud of him, and really in our coverage unit, I thought Jabril Rawls was outstanding. Those guys. It was probably the biggest challenge that we'd faced up to this point in the year. SMU had a really dynamic returner, but to be able to keep him corralled was really big, and I thought there were some great individual efforts, but also Alex doing a great job of helping flip the field.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, how about our keys to success, brought to you by Scott and Wallace? You see that special teams duo right there on the stream. I mean, Fitzy's been outstanding, one of the best in college football, as has Alex Mastromano. Those guys are right near the top. You talk about duos. There might not be many better from a punting and kicking duo in all of college football on the same team. And so excited to see more from those two as this season moves along. Time now for our keys to success, brought to you by Scott & Wallace, the official law firm of Florida State Athletics. Scott & Wallace with offices in Tallahassee. Clemson comes to town. They're a team, obviously, we have great battles with over the last handful of years and certainly over our time in the ACC, and a squad that on the offensive side feels like they've found their footing a little bit with some of the things they've done the last few games, Coach.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably playing as good as anybody in our conference, anybody, arguably they're in the country these last few weeks. I mean, for what they've been able to do, offensively, they've really jumped out in games early and then been able to take control of it, on both sides. So, it's going to be a great challenge for us, but I can tell you our guys are excited for opportunity, and that's something that, this game is a big game, and it's a big game every single year, and excited to be here at home in front of our home crowd, and you're definitely looking forward to a wonderful week of preparation. But we definitely have our hands full with going and attacking this group. But I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, no question about that. Hey, coming up next here on Inside Seminole Football, it's one of our favorite growing segments as we take a look back at a historical matchup between Florida State and Clemson that's brought to you by Bowden's. And we'll get coaches' final thoughts on the week ahead, getting ready for the Clemson Tigers. That and more on the way. Stay with us live from Bowden's in College Town. Back with more after this timeout. And welcome back Monday night. One final segment with the head coach Mike Norvell here on the program. We appreciate his time very much here on a Monday evening. Coming up, looking forward to talking with Justin Juice Cryer, who will stop by our show, linebacker who has made his presence felt here early in the season with this Florida State football team. Hey, how about our Bowden's featured historical flashback right here? And all of us know, going back into the vault, heading back to October 23rd of 1999. How about Bowden Bowl number 1? Look at the shots right there of Bobby and Tommy Bowden. How about Miss Ann Bowden? What do you think she was feeling that night in front of 86,200 fans? And it was a back and forth affair. Sebastian Janikowski able to boot through the go-ahead game-winning field goal with 5:30 left on the clock to give Florida State a 17-14 lead. And Tony Lazzara with 2:01 to play, unable to connect with a field goal chance to tie the game. A 17-14 win, career win number 300 for Bobby Bowden, and the first time a father and son coached matchup, coaching opposing teams in Division 1A history. Can you imagine Miss Ann Bowden, coach, the emotions that were flying through her that night? That had to have been as tough as it comes right there.
There's no question about it. But, definitely a special and unique way to bring in number 300, huh?
No, oh, wow. Yeah, absolutely. Right there. As we are indeed live from Bowden's here in College Town, host location of Inside Seminole Football with Mike Norvell every Monday night, live here in College Town from 7 to 8 p.m. All right, Coach, as you look at the week and get ready tomorrow, I know you take it day by day, and tomorrow another big work day going out and preparing and getting ready for this Clemson team. Give me your takeaway and thoughts as you guys get ready for another matchup and another challenging opponent.
Yeah, it's about the work, and we got to go clean up the mistakes that have shown up, and obviously excited to see our guys and the way that they responded Sunday night. But now it's as we go through the rest of this game week, it's putting ourselves in the best position, continuing to build that confidence so that come Saturday night, man, we go play our best game. And I am excited about what this team's going to do. I know, like I said earlier, it is a challenge, but I mean that's what this is all about. That's what college football is about. It doesn't always go exactly how you want it. The ball doesn't always bounce the way that you desire, but you still get the choice. And that's what we have in front of us. We have the choice of where we're going to go put our true identity on display. And I'm excited to see this team compete.
Yeah, absolutely. Coach, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you as always on Monday night, and have a great week getting ready.
Well, I appreciate everybody coming out. Look forward to seeing you Saturday night, and go Noles.
There you go. The comments of the head coach Mike Norvell here with us live at Bowden's in College Town on Monday evening as our program brought to you in part by Truist. When you work with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. So start feeling like it today. Visit Truist.com/care. Truist, leaders in banking and unwavering in care. Truist Bank, member FDIC. Coming up, we'll talk with Justin Juice Cryer on the other side as you're watching Inside Seminole Football, listening on the Seminole Sports Network as well. We're back after this. Back here at Bowden's in College Town on a Monday night. Welcome back Inside Seminole Football. Great to be here with all of our friends and Seminole family on a Monday evening as our program brought to you in part by Carver's Discount Cleaners. They are mean on stains and green on earth. Try new Eco Green Dry Cleaning at Carver's Discount Cleaners, 1215 North Monroe Street in Midtown. And also, it is time now for our Gear of the Week segment, brought to you by Garnet and Gold. This week's item is a League men's quarter zip with the Spear logo right here to my right. Black quarter zip, Spear logo, looking sharp, and this is good stuff from our friends here at Garnet and Gold. Thumbs up again from the front table. Yes, there we go. I like it. As Garnet and Gold has been locally owned and operated for over 40 years, visit one of the 3 locations here in Tallahassee and pick up your new game day gear. And before I introduce Justin Juice Cryer, I want to wish happy birthday to Beth Burr right here in the front. Beth, happy birthday. Thanks for spending with us on a Monday night. Beth and her wife Tom are with us. I don't think you guys have missed a show in how long? I mean, you made them all. So we appreciate you. Happy birthday. I'd sing it to you, but nobody wants to hear that. I can promise you that. So happy birthday, Beth. And let's give a round of applause. Florida State linebacker Justin Juice Cryer is here with us. Katy, Texas native, ladies and gentlemen. It's great to see you, my friend. Thanks so much for your time. Hey, back home in the state of Texas last weekend, I'm sure it was great to see friends, family, get to connect with them. How many people were able to connect with last week that came to the game in Dallas?
Yeah, upwards to 25 people. It was a lot of people.
Wow.
It was great to see family. My parents were there. Some of my high school teammates were there, and some of the guys actually ended up playing against on the field. So it was really important for me to kind of just feel the love from the people who I haven't seen in a little bit, and I'm just super happy to be here, and I know they're proud of me.
Yeah, absolutely. And hey, growing up in the state of Texas, you hear a lot, and obviously there's great football in Florida, Friday Night Lights, great football in Texas, Friday Night Lights. What's that culture like overall, being a guy from the state of Texas, playing in some of those great venues and playing against, like you mentioned, you played against some of your former teammates that played for SMU on Saturday night in high school.
Yeah, it's a way of life in Texas. It's one of those things where you get into it at a young age, and it never leaves you really. And I'm just super blessed to be in this position to kind of carry out just the dream I've been living, and I'm just hoping to keep it going.
Well, you're definitely doing that, I can tell you, Juice, because here early in the season, you have been opportunistic. You have had a nose for the football with an interception in the Memphis game. You recovered the punt, the fumbled punt late Saturday night against SMU, late in that contest as well. Just talk about that mindset. I know, as Coach Fuller calls it, that mission takeaway mindset for the defensive side of the football. You're a guy that seems to be all around it. How do you get yourself into that position to make those kinds of plays?
Ultimately, just having a nose for football. And Coach also talks about the opportunity that we get whenever we step on the field, and using the opportunity to just go out there and make a play. And I was talking to a couple of my teammates earlier, that mindset you have going out there, not playing scared, not going out there and not making a mistake, and go out there just have fun to play ball. We've been playing this game for me since I was 3-4 years old, and it's been a long time. So when you get to this level, you don't shy away from the opportunity, you don't shy away from the moment. You just go out there and just make a play, and ultimately I've been able to do that so far.
We're going to talk to Randy Shannon here coming up in moments. How would you describe Coach Shannon the coach? What's he meant to you as a mentor and as a guy showing you how it's done here at Florida State, the level to play at?
Yeah, just being able to just conduct yourself as a pro. Really, he's been around the block a few times, and just ultimately just the level of knowledge he has of the game and just how it's played is something I really value and I really hold deeply, and it's something I can't thank him enough for, because it's a lot of times where you don't really know how necessary things are going to go, and for someone who has had that experience and just been through it so much that you can kind of count on him and trust in his experience is something I really hold deeply. So I'm really appreciative of him.
Yeah, there you go. And it's another big week. You have another great team that you're going to face on Saturday night in this Clemson football team. We were able to go in there to their house last year and get a much-needed, big win early in the season in game number 4 a season ago. What's this week like? Getting ready. I know we talk a lot about it being about us, but just kind of get me in your mindset of the preparation this week and what's on tap here coming up for you guys starting tomorrow.
Yeah, ultimately we do have a big task ahead of us, but at the same time, the last time I talked to you, it's all about bringing that energy. Yeah. And like you said, when I had that conversation with you, we ended up going out there. There's a lot of fire under us and playing really well. So I just got to keep it going. And ultimately, you can't control what other people do. You can't control what anybody else does except the people in this building. Yeah. So just going out there defensively and just having fun. You can't lose your joy for the game. You can't lose your love for the game, no matter the circumstances of what you're in. And ultimately, you just have to just go out there and have fun and just go out there and make plays. So keep bringing that energy, keep having fun, and just go out there and enjoy it.
Well, I tell you what, the path you're on, you're going to have about 9-10 turnovers here, takeaways here this year. Keep up the great work, Juice. We appreciate you taking the time to join us here on the show, and look forward to seeing you this week. Thanks for the time.
Yes, sir.
There you go. That's Justin Juice Cryer, ladies and gentlemen. He's got a couple of takeaways already here in this second season with the Noles. Coming up next, we'll talk to his position coach and co-defensive coordinator, Randy Shannon, when he joins us on the other side. We're back here live from Ballots in College Town, back after this timeout. All right, great to be back on Monday night, live from Ballots in College Town, inside Seminole football. Brought to you in part by Grassroots Coffee, as Florida State Athletics would like to thank Grassroots Coffee for their support of Florida State football. Grassroots Coffee, also the official coffee of the Battle's End. And every time you drink Battle's End Blend, you support FSU athletes. Order Battle's End Blend today at grassrootscoffee.com. Big shout out Mark Lowe, who is always a fan and contributor here, joins us every week here on Inside Seminole Football. And did you know that FSU Athletics is self-supported, is not funded by tax dollars? Because of this, we rely on fans just like you to join Seminole Boosters so your teams have the best possible chance to achieve success on and off the field. Seminole Booster membership starts at $5 per month and comes with great membership benefits. Go online to SeminoleBoosters.com to learn more or join. That's SeminoleBoosters.com. Well, a big round of applause from everybody here in the crowd tonight. Give it up for Randy Shannon, who's joining us here this evening, co-defensive coordinator, linebackers coach stopping by. Coach, it's always a pleasure to see you, as always. Thanks so much for the time. And we just talked with Juice Cryer a moment ago. That's a young guy that's got a nose for the football here early in the season.
You know what? Cryer's been unbelievable.
Yeah.
He transferred in last year, August, right before the season started.
Yeah.
And he was nervous about getting an opportunity to play. I said, listen, it's going to take a little time, but it's going to be week depending on you about the fourth game of the season. And believe it or not, by the fourth, fifth game of the season, we had some nicks at linebacker, and he came in, him and Blake came in and did a nice job for us. Now we're reaping the rewards of this year. He's playing a lot, making a lot of plays for us, got an interception in the big game for us. But every time he steps on the field, he does a tremendous job of getting us lined up, but he's active, a lot of energy. He has something about him that makes him a difference maker in this program.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And you mentioned Blake Nicholson as well. That's a young guy. He's a true sophomore for you. And when you talk about nose for the football, it seems like every game coach, he's setting a new career high for tackles here over the last few weeks. And that's a young guy that the future is right now for Blake Nicholson.
You know, and that's what it's a part of it. You know, at Florida State, you come here to win championships. You come here to win a lot of games. You come here to be the best that you can be. And with a guy like Blake coming from California, is a guy that we've seen that plays receiver, running back, free safety, tailback, kick returner, punt returner, was a great athlete. Mm-hmm. But then you bring him into an organization like Florida State, and with this team, with the defense that we run, a guy that can do a lot of different things and make a lot of different plays for us, and that's what he's bringing to the table.
Yeah, he is. He flies around. That's for sure. And those are two linebackers in Cryer and Nicholson that are fun to watch right now. DJ Lundy is kind of like, I guess, the grandfather of the room, Coach, with many times we've called his name during his career here at Florida State. And there's a leader I know in your room, and that's a guy that you need to be versatile as well, who is going to play not only in a phone booth, but get sideline to sideline and try and cover people out in the flat.
And Lundy's been great. I mean, he's been like the leader of the room. You know, every Thursday night he takes those guys out to dinner. The whole group, and they talk, they communicate. They sit down and talk about things, not just football, but just life in general.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a deal where Lundy says what they established a couple of years ago, like, who's having problems? Mm-hmm. Who's at this table having problems? How could we help you? How could we get you over these problems? Are you having problems at home? If mom's sick, brother's sick, anybody, those problems come up at that conversation, and those guys get those guys through it. And I think that's one of the tremendous things about Lundy. He's getting those guys to understand about life and not just football, but then understand the more you play football, the more life lessons that you'll learn, and you create a big-time character.
Yeah, wow, that's awesome. That's fantastic, to say the least. And speaking of new guy, but he's not a young guy, and that's Cam Riley, who at 6'4", 235, 240, Coach. You talk about versatile. I know he's been battling some injuries here and there, but that's a guy that, he's going to make a play regardless of where he's at on the field. He's a lot of fun to follow.
He is unique. He's a unique big guy that can run. I mean, he's tremendous speed, big, athletic, powerful, strong young man that comes in August. He's been very, very instrumental in us. They call him the Pops of the room, to be honest with you. So everybody called him Pops in the room. He sits in the back and he smiles. He jokes around with him. But the one thing that he does bring, he brings experience. And also, he's learning what we do on defense, learning the culture here. But one thing he said, Coach, I've never been a place where guys get along so well and they invited me into their homes. It's not just like I'm an outcast. I'm here treated like a normal guy, and I've only been here for a couple of months.
Yeah, he's been a good one, that's for sure. And we'll see more from Cam Riley here as this 2024 season rolls along. We'll take a time out, but when coming up next on the program, we'll hear from Randy Shannon talk about the challenge, the matchup with Clemson, and some of the items that are important this week in getting ready for another big opponent. Randy Shannon, more with Coach Shannon here on the other side, live from Bowdon College Town, as you're watching this all across our streaming platforms and listening on the Seminole Sports Network from Legends. We're back after this timeout. All right, back one final time here, live from Bowdon College Town. Big thanks to our gals here, our Florida State cheer squad, making it happen. Thank you, ladies, so much for joining us here tonight on a Monday evening, as we're live each and every Monday night, 7 to 8 p.m., live from Bowdon College Town, the home of Inside Seminole Football. Just a scheduling update. Even though next week is a bye week, we will be here on Monday nights. We'll be back here next Monday night. We will not have a show the week of the Duke games. And since that's a Friday game, and I went and tried to get in the calendar when the game's not on Saturday, because Sunday turns into Monday and Tuesday. I don't even know, Coach. So I'll let you try to
You know what? It's basically, we have like a semi-open week, but it's really not an open week. We'll go out recruiting during the open time, but then we have to come back in the office.
Yeah.
Our Saturday will be a Sunday. Our Sunday will be a Monday. So we back everything up and get ready for the upcoming opponent, and then that's how it relates.
There you go. I like it. So we're back here next Monday, but we will not be here Monday, the week of the Duke game. Well, I know, hey, you're looking for a little more, right? You've seen flashes of it. Obviously, you got the right guys. You know you got the talent, and you're just looking to put it together, as Coach Norvell talks about, during that moment of truth to find more consistency overall. Kind of take me through your lens right now. What are some of the things you're seeing?
Well, we have a lot of bright spots, okay, but we want more. And like anything else, the fans, the alumnus of Florida State, everybody wants the winner. I mean, that's what we want. That's what we're going to keep competing and doing the things we need to get done. And when you take this group of guys, you may see one play here, one play there, then we'll get on a roll and it's like, okay, we're ready to go. But we need that next step of somebody making a play. Somebody corralling the team at that point in time and taking us to that next step. This team has worked hard. They continue to work hard. We like the way they've come back this week in the weight room, like we've come back and did some things Sunday. I mean, a lot of energy, a lot of juice, no sad faces and things like that. And the one thing I can say from the fans and alumnus, looking at this team will never quit on you guys. This team is very, very upbeat.
There you go.
And we play an opponent like Clemson. And I mean, like, it's nothing best than playing the guys that you always play.
Yeah.
At Florida State, you're always going to play Clemson, Florida, now Boston College, and you're going to play Miami. And those are like games that you're going to look forward to playing because those are difference makers. And those difference makers games, great players step up, big-time players step up, and somebody in this team going to step up for this game this week against Clemson.
Absolutely. Coach, you got about 30 seconds. Give me a synopsis on the Tigers of what you've seen so far. They're getting better, obviously, on the offensive side.
They're getting better on the offensive side. They got a couple of veterans coming back, and like anything else, they got some nicks like we do. But it's going to have to come from the guys up front in the trenches, to be honest with you. Their trenches guys on the offensive line against our guys up front is going to be a big factor. And whoever control the trenches up front physically and just get after each other, that's what it's going to come down to. And I think our guys up front are really understanding the points of you have to be the difference makers up front, because if the guys up front control the game is easy.
Yep.
And that makes my guys a lot easier. They can run around and make a lot of plays
That's
that way.
right. That's right. Coach, thank you so much for your time, as always. We appreciate you joining us on the show.
Thank you, guys.
There you go. Big round of applause for Randy Shannon, everybody. My name is Jeff Culhane. Thanks to everybody that stopped out. We appreciate that on a Monday night. We'll see you next Monday live from Bowdon's here in College Town. Have a great night and go Noles.